It's very often in my days where I feel like I'm not doing enough. It's very often in my days where I'm doubting myself and I feel like there's literally no reason for me to keep pushing. But that's every reason why we have to keep pushing. Right now, I'm mentally going crazy. I feel like every single time I work on something, I'm not putting in enough energy, or every single time that I do things in my life, it isn't worthy enough and I'm not good enough as a human being. But first off, there's a few things that I could pull out of my own statements right there. We can't keep expecting so much out of ourselves when we don't even give ourselves props for the things that we do. I know a lot of the times I'm doing so much and I'm working so much. I'm making YouTube videos constantly. I'm making Instagram content constantly. And I'm making music constantly. And I just don't give myself credit for all of the things that I do. I always feel like I'm never going to be enough. A lot of the times it also has to do with what people say and the people around me. I know when I see my parents or I see other people in my life, from another person's perspective, it may seem like I'm working on something that isn't gonna work, and I'm working towards something that doesn't have any visible or viable proof or can allow something to blossom in my life. I know when your parents or when your loved ones or friends around you doubt the things that you're doing, it makes it even harder because it's not like it's just some random person. It's the people who are closest to you in your life who a lot of the times are the ones who are doubting you the most. And it hurts. I have days every single day where I'm really going crazy and mentally overthinking, feeling like I'm not doing enough, but I'm really actually doing just enough, if not more than enough. But my mind tells me that I'm not, because my family or my friends or the people around me, they don't make me feel like what I'm doing is worth it. You know, my parents will tell me to get a real job, or the friends around me were telling me to do things a certain way, or maybe to just give up entirely. It sucks when you want to work on something and you want to work towards a goal in your life and the people around you aren't believing it, but that doesn't mean that you aren't enough. And the next thing that I want to get to is you cannot attach your self-worth to the things that you're doing. You see, I have this issue and I'm still doing it right now in my head to this very moment. So best believe that I'm still going through it right now. But you can't attach your self-worth to things. And I think we forget that just because your work is your work, it doesn't mean that it's you. You have to separate who you are from what you want and who you are from what you're doing, because you aren't this robot. Every single day you could be a different person. Every single day you have the ability to change who you are and change how you move and change how you react and respond to things. But we can't attach our self-worth and attach who we are as people to what we're doing. I every day go through this struggle of attaching my work, attaching my music, attaching my content to who I am as a person. And if it doesn't get a crazy amount of numbers, or if I don't know what to do next when it comes to my work, I mentally go crazy. I mentally feel like I'm not enough. I mentally feel like I can't ever take any breaks. And a lot of the times I feel like I can't ever take any breaks because if I do, it's going to show to other people that I'm not trying. And if that's the case, then people aren't going to think that I'm good enough. And that good enough thing really repeats in my head over and over and over again. And it makes me crazy because I always feel like I'm not enough. I always feel like I'm not enough. And I know a lot of us feel like we're not enough sometimes when we're doing all these things and we just don't give ourselves that credit. Or you're not doing anything at all because you're afraid. You're afraid of outcome and you're afraid of the expectations of the world and social media and other people. So you may feel like you're not enough and you may not work towards that thing at all. Sometimes we're stuck in the middle too, and we feel like we know that we're capable of what we're doing, but we don't feel like we're seeing any signs. The point of the video that I'm trying to make and the point of the things that I'm trying to say here is you are enough. And we need to start looking for the reasons that we are enough instead of looking for the reasons that we're not. And I know it's hard when people around you and the people in your life or just expectations that you hold over yourself are telling you that you're not. I know I'm still struggling with it in this very moment of trying not to overthink about my parents' opinions of me and trying not to overthink of the people around me, their opinions of me, because other people's opinions, they do matter to me at the end of the day. And I'm not gonna sit here and say that you should completely disregard other people's opinions because that would be egotistical, that would be narcissistic. You don't want to completely ignore people. But what I will say is you want to kind of dim their light and brighten up your own. And it might be better to focus on your own opinions rather than other people's, because at the end of the day, you live in your own mind. You live in your own body. You live in your own soul. You have to be happy with who you are. You have to be happy with what you're doing. And if you're happy with what you're doing, and if what you're doing makes you feel good enough, even if you don't see the results that you want to see yet, you can't just give up. And that can't make you feel like you're not enough either. I know when I don't see the results that I want to see, because at the end of the day, I want to be this huge artist. I want to be this huge creator. I want to be this person who can inspire people and bring people together. I want to be this person. And I know that I'm doing that. But when I don't see it in the way that I want to see it, it makes me crazy. But just because you're not seeing something that you want doesn't mean that it's not impossible to appear. It just means that it's not here yet. And you have to hold on to that yet. You have to hold on to that sight of it's possible. If so many other people achieved the thing that you want to achieve, or maybe they didn't, that still doesn't say that you can't achieve that thing. It just means that it hasn't yet happened. And all you could do is keep working towards that thing. All you can do is keep working towards whatever you want. And all you can do is keep believing that what you want is possible. That's all you can really do. You are enough. You are good enough, and there's nothing wrong with who you are as a person. And just because you haven't maybe achieved the things that you want to achieve, just because you haven't maybe gotten to where you want to get to, that doesn't mean that it's impossible. And when I say motivating things like this, when I say things like this, it does help me and it does motivate me. So sometimes speak to yourself out loud, talk to yourself out loud, talk to God, talk to whoever you need to speak to, but don't hold in how you're feeling. Don't hold it in. And if you don't feel good enough, let that out, write it down. Put it in music like I do. Put it in a video. Put it in writing. Do something. Don't hold it in. You are enough, and you are doing just enough just by existing and just by being you. And that's something that is very, very difficult for me to get through my head, that just by being myself and just by doing the things that I love, I am enough. I am enough without my parents telling me that. I am enough without the people around me telling me. People around you, even when you start to believe in yourself, are gonna doubt you. They're gonna tell you that you're not enough. They're gonna, in a lot of different ways, look at you like you're crazy. But if you are crazy, what we have to start kind of sitting back and taking another perspective at is, if you are crazy, what's wrong with that? Just because I'm following something or chasing something that other people don't believe in, just because I want to work on myself all the time, just because I would rather spend time by myself and really work towards this dream and not be with a lot of people and not go out partying and not have fun, who knows? Maybe all of that time that other people are spending worrying is time that they should be really spending focused on themselves and bettering themselves. But you're doing that and they're not. So keep that in mind. When people have things to say about you, you are bettering yourself at the end of the day. If you are even watching videos like this, or if you are working towards yourself in some way, you're doing enough. You are enough. And this video was a little bit all over the place, but that's what our heads are like, right? Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And I hope that everybody has an amazing and positive day.